Rugby is a multifaceted game in which players are asked to perform a substantial range of skills. Players of different sizes, shapes and abilities are able to partake and perform well within the structure of a 15-man team. In these coaching videos, we will show the key factors of the components which make up the dynamic game of rugby, plus ideas on how they should be practiced and used in a game situation. For example, passing, kicking, catching, running and tackling in the game of rugby today. From here we move on to mini-unit skills, where relationships and understanding of each other's play are vital components. For example, halfback and fly half, winger and fullback, thrower and jumper, just being some of the many units within the game. In other unit skills, players are then joined into two separate units, the forwards, who are involved in the scrums, lineouts, rucks and mauls, and the backline, participating in attack and defence activities. For team patterns, the two units should then work together, forwards and backs, working to complement each other's various strengths and weaknesses in an effort to achieve the ultimate aim of the game, to score points. For tactics, you may need to make minor changes for 1. Your opponent's ability, 2. the weather or ground conditions, 3. rules or local safety laws. Finally, at all times during training, you as the coach should insist on a very high standard of practice. The goal is for the team to train as they intend to play the game. The spotting of technical failings and then applying the appropriate corrections are an important coaching skill. Good luck with your coaching. It should be rewarding and enjoyable for everybody.
Good work. Bring it up.
The aim of backline on attack is to score tries. This is achieved by creating space for a penetrator. To ensure this happens, the backline must organise itself into a planned formation, must run correct angles, and have good skills and penetration moves. In this video, we will look at all these components. With individual skills, receiving a pass is very important. First thing the receiver must do is be behind the person that's passing, at least half a metre. He must have his hands out as a target to greet the ball. Note how the players are in depth and greet the ball. Okay, the reason that this person has to be in depth behind the passer is when he receives the ball, he catches the ball in front so he can watch the ball, but with his peripheral vision he can also see where he's going and what's happening in front of him. The winger uses his vision and reacts to the defence immediately. Another reason we need to greet it out in front is to be able to give us the option of doing a short or long pass immediately. Activity 1, passing waves. Set the cones out as shown in the diagram. The passers stand behind 4 sets of cones on either side. When the passer runs and gets to the second line of cones, the receiver then runs, thus creating depth for the receiver. The line of passers must finish their passing before reaching the last line of cones on the opposite side. Players must keep behind the passer, have their eyes on the ball, greet the ball with both hands, be well balanced for a left or right pass, use peripheral vision for making decisions. Okay, the person passing the ball must commit the defender by stepping towards him or away from the way he's passing. These players have balanced themselves correctly when passing. When passing to the left, balance on the right foot. When passing to the right, balance on the left foot. When the passer passes the ball, he should let the ball go in the direction so it's rising so the receiver can catch it around chest height. On the same pass, we should have 3 options. 1, the inside. Second option should put the player outside as defender. Activity 2, pass and support. Organise the players into 4 attackers and 3 defenders. The 4 attackers in yellow run at the 3 defenders. The defenders are spaced 1 metre apart and behind one another. The defenders must defend in order. First defender takes first attacker, second defender takes second attacker, third defender takes third attacker, thus leaving an overlap. Commit, pass, support. The passer must be balanced correctly. Passing left, balance on the right foot. Passing right, balance on the left foot. Step towards the opposition or step away from the direction of the pass. Eyes on the target. Sympathetic speed of the pass. Aim at the target, chest height. Ball carriers should run evasively, swerve, sidestep, or change pace. They should be balanced. They should make the defence hesitate and retain the ball in contact. Angles are very important in backline attack to create space. The golden rule is the passer must move away from the space he's trying to create. First option, the passer will step to the right and pass to the left. In this option, the passer will run across the field to draw the defender with him to create the space where he's just run from. This activity is good for players to practice running angles to create space. The attackers run down the field in a set of two and must get past the two defenders. The defenders are spaced 10 metres apart down the field. The defenders can move left or right along the line between the set of cones. To extend, allow the defenders to move forward of the line. Rotate players in their various roles. Players should run angles so as to create space. Space that is created is a space the player has moved away from. The backline formation or alignment is very important. In this backline alignment, we've got the players very flat, so they're close to the defence. Therefore, they must get the ball quickly through their hands and get to the area of penetration very quickly. Second formation that we've got here is a staircase formation. As you can see, the players are slightly deeper, therefore they must run straighter and a little bit faster before passing. Backline alignment is based on the players' passing skills, the distance between the players, the position of the intended penetration. Within the team formation or alignment, the individual has an important role. The first five, he's got three options of how he can take the ball. One, he can take it standing. This gives him time, especially for his kicking option. The first five should vary the position that they receive the ball in, depending on the attacking options. You can also take the ball running, especially when you get the ball from the top of the line out, or going the short side, or from second phase when the defence is in tatters. If the fly half is holding, then the halfback should aim to pass about a half a metre or a metre in front of him. That's it. When holding, a first five waits for the halfback's pass before moving. This allows him to receive the ball running or to receive the ball standing, depending on the direction of the pass. Fly half. First five has three receiving options. Standing, he waits for the ball to come to him. Moving, he can run on to the pass. Holding, he waits for the pass and he reacts to its direction, allowing him to either run or stand. The midfield align themselves outside the fly half, their outside foot forward, facing down the way they want to go. They must start moving when the fly half catches the ball or when the fly half starts moving. The midfield should be comfortable passing distance apart. When they move, they should remain in position so that they can catch the ball in front of them. Midfield. The midfield should face straight towards the goal line. Move when the first 5 catches the ball, or move when the first 5 runs with the ball. They should be sympathetic passing distance apart. The fullback must time his run so that he hits the gap at speed. Fullback. Fullbacks should position themselves to enter the backline unnoticed and at speed. They should choose the correct angles to penetrate in. The winger should position themselves in a comfortable passing distance from the midfield players. They move when the midfield moves and they adjust their position relative to where the penetrating player enters the back line. This activity is very good because it makes the players concentrate on their alignment, their quick passing, their running straight and their supporting. Set out the cones as shown. Distances between the cones will depend on the ability of the players. The players attack into the square. The ball must be taken from one corner to the other. To extend, decrease the size of the square, or introduce limited number of defenders. In backline attack, sometimes we have to introduce moves so as to confuse the defence. It's important when we do these that we confuse the defence by adding people in, missing people out, or running decoys. We'll have a look at a few of these moves now. Another variation is for the second 5 to miss out the centre. You can pass to the winger, as in this case, or to the fullback. In this example, the second 5 misses out the centre straight to the fullback. Here, the first 5 scissor passes with the second 5. Variations are, the fly half can scissor with the centre, or in this case the centre and the wing scissor pass. A line so that the pattern can be performed close to the tackle line. Timing of the pass and penetration is important. Make correct decisions. Penetrator to use different angles. Players to support the ball carriers. The tackle line is where the attacking and the defending team meet. If a backline pattern is to be successful, the timing of the pass and the penetration on the pass must be just before or on the tackle line. In this example, number 12 delays his pass, bringing the blue defenders closer to the tackle line. The long pass puts a winger in space. In this example, the fullback gets the ball on the tackle line, but is able to get the ball away to the player in space. Attack patterns should be performed close to the opposition so as to commit the defence. If performed too far away, the opposition will not be committed to the tackle. The penetrator should time his run to arrive at the correct moment. In backline attack, when a person gets the ball, he has three options. He may pass the ball, run with the ball, or kick the ball. This option, the ball carrier will commit the first defender, creating space for the penetrator coming through the middle. In this option, the outside defender comes in to take the penetrator, the passer mispasses to the outside support. In the last option, the defenders drift too early, so the ball carrier dummies and goes through the gap. The player with the ball should always use his vision and listen to other players when assessing his options. The passer should read the situation and pass to the unmarked player. If that option is nullified, dummy and run. The ball should be passed into space. Let's go. Let's go. Off you go, go, go. Activity 5, option making grid. Organise the grid as shown. There are 2 defenders at each end. 2 attackers in the middle are joined by an extra person to attack the defenders. The aim for the attackers is to get past the defenders using the various options. Once the attack has been completed, the 2 defenders become the attackers and 2 of the attackers become defenders. The spare person joins the middle line. Option 2 still. Get it, that's it, good. Go again. Okay. When an individual player penetrates into the back line, he must choose his angles correctly. We will show two options that a person coming into the back line has. Here, the penetrator starts inside or behind the ball carrier, and he comes off the passer's shoulder into space. In this example, the penetrator comes from an inside angle and goes to the gap. Here, the fullback comes from inside the centre, running the outside angle, catches the ball in space. In this example, the penetrator starts outside the space and runs into the space. Here, the winger starting outside the space runs into the space now. Penetrators should vary their angles when hitting the gap. The penetrator should arrive late into the gap. The penetrator should increase the speed of the attack. In back attack, the ball carrier should always have two support players assisting him. These players should be in depth, so that allows them options of where they take the ball. We will have a look at these options now. With this option, the outside defender shadows the outside support player. With this option, the ball carrier runs across the field, drawing both defenders to him, allowing him to scissor with his support player. The outside option is closed, leaving the space for the inside support player. The outside option is closed. The passer may use the inside support player. Support players should support in depth. They should create space by drifting wide. They should change angles to move into the gap. When the backs attack on the short side, they should always take it flat and running fast. When attacking on the short side, players should take the ball flat. Attacking players should run hard onto the ball. Gain territory by kicking into touch. When the first five is under pressure, he may pass it to other players who can kick for territory. The aim of these kicking options is for the attacking team to regain possession and put pressure on the defenders. Other kicking options are to gain territory by either finding touch or kicking down the field. Remember that the kicking team should always chase the kicks. A drop goal is an option which awards the team with points. Place kicking is an important method to convert penalties and conversions into points. Key points of a place kick are correct placement of the ball, measure run up correctly, balanced run to the kick. Non-kicking foot placement should be pointed towards the goal. Eyes on the kicking spot of the ball, shoulders steady, contact with kicking foot, follow through. Kick options advantages are gaining territory, finding touch, relieving pressure, kick from defence to touch, regaining possession, box kick, chip or grubber kick, scoring points, a drop kick or place kick. Counter-attack is a very effective way of attacking. When players counter-attack, they must communicate with each other. Make sure that they catch or pick up the ball correctly. The ball carrier moves to draw the defence and passes to the support players in the space that he created. They then support the new ball carrier. Here, the open side wing runs with the ball to commit the defence. He then passes to his support players. Here, the short side winger gets it, runs towards the forwards, passes to the support players in space. Fullback scissors with the support player. When counter-attacking, players must communicate. They must catch the ball or pick up the ball cleanly, assess the situation. The ball carrier moves to draw the defence, passes to the support player in space. They must then support the new ball carrier. If backlines are not being effective on attack, coaches should evaluate the key factors to source the problems. There are some common problems with backline attack. The first one is standing too wide. Other problems with backline alignment is the backline gets too flat or too deep. Here is an example of the backline being too deep. They have executed their moves too early, allowing the defence to move across. Again, the backline is very, very deep, allowing the defence to drift. Another common problem is the midfield creeping before the fly half has started moving. Sometimes backlines, under pressure, run across the field, crowding the space they're trying to create. Here, the attacking backline is moving across the field. This allows the defenders to run off the attacking players and mark the player who is supposed to be in space. Timing of a move is very important. If we do the move too far away from the defense, they will just drift across and catch the penetrator. In this example, the attacking team passes too early, which allows the defenders to move off and tackle the penetrator. In this example, the move is done too far away from the tackle line, giving the defense time to read the attack, drift across and make the tackle. It is important that we practice all our attacking patterns. When we practice, we should always be aware of where the tackle line should be. It's important also that we practice our defense, kicking options, and our patterns of play. The aim of backline defence is to stop the opposition from scoring. This is achieved by denying the attacking side time, space and directional options. The key factors of backline defence are staying in a line, pushing the attacking side across the field, communication, covering and tackling. In this section of the video, we will cover the key components of backline defence. We will also look at backline defence patterns. Tackling is very important in backline defence. The aim of a tackle is to stop the opposition attack, also to try and regain possession of the ball. There are many types of tackles, but it is important to remember a few basic rules. Here we have a side-on tackle. The tackler must approach the ball carrier in a crouched position, sight the target area, drive off with his legs, hit the target with his shoulder, head behind the ball carrier's body, and wrap his arms around the legs. Here's a good example. Head behind and arms wrapped around. This is a head-on tackle. Again, the tackler must put his head to one side, bend his legs, and in this case, he is moved back with the ball carrier. Get in a crouched position, head on one side, wrap your arms around, and go back with the ball carrier. In this case, the tackler has driven the ball carrier backwards. Key points of tackling are: approach the ball carrier in a crouched position, sight the target area, drive off with the legs into the tackle, hit the target area with the shoulders, place the head behind the ball carrier's body, or head-on tackle, place the head to one side, arms wrapped around the upper legs or lower torso. Defenders should stay in a line. Here the white team demonstrates this. Another factor is that the defenders should stay inside their opposition, forcing them to the sideline. Staying inside will eliminate the attacker's options of running straight. It is very important that we communicate to the other players in the team about what pattern we are using. It is important also that if we're not needed in one place, we must cover and support to help other members of our team. Front line defenders should stay in a line. They should stay inside their opposite and force them across the field. They should communicate with each other. When they're not involved in taking their own person, they should cover. And then most importantly, they must tackle. This is an example of defensive positioning from a line-out. This is a defensive position from a scrum. This is another defensive situation from a scrum in the middle of the field. There are many types of defence patterns for backlines. It is important all the players know which defence pattern is being used. It is important that players communicate with each other about the defence pattern being used. The defensive player defends their opponent in the same position. If the opposition fullback comes outside the centre, he has taken the wing's position, so the defensive winger makes the tackle. Fullback covers the wing. The blindside wing takes the fullback's position. Another option, especially when in the defensive 22 metres area, is to have the fullback mark the fullback and the winger defends the winger. The blindside wing becomes the fullback. Here is an example of a man-on-man. On a scissors move, defensive players should zone. Here, yellow 10 and 12 scissor. Blue 10 should defend yellow 12 and blue 12 defends yellow 10. Note in this action, the first and second defenders delay to take the cutting players. This defence is used when the loose forward is free to defend the attacking number 10. Defensive backline players then defend one player positioned outside their normal opposite player. Here, the red 7 defends blue 10, allowing the defensive 10, 12 and 13 to defend one position out. When the attack passes early, the defence player drifts out to take the next attacking player. In this example, the defending team drifts out wide and the blue passes pass too early. In this case, the defender stays on man and drifts wide when the pass is made early. Defensive players should mark the player in the opposite position. They should fulfill the key backline defence factors. There are variations of the basic principles. Coaches need to adapt patterns to suit the team's ability. Players must communicate with each other. A loose forward should defend the first 5. The backs then defend one position out from their normal position. Key factors of backline defence are still adhered to. Defenders move up slowly. They try to shepherd the attacking backline across the field. In this example, the defender has drifted outside his opposite, allowing him to step back inside. Here, the defensive player has got too far inside the attacking player, allowing him space on the outside. Here, the players have got too square and have had to stop, allowing him to be beaten on the outside. Two players here haven't communicated and have come into one person, allowing him to free the ball to the person in space. It's important that we practice defence in our practice sessions.